Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Late Night, Friday Night, Young at Heart, featuring nursery rhymes, stories, songs, poems, Mother Goose, Aesop's Fables, Lewis Carroll, limericks, larks, epics, stories of the great operas, and such. To keep us all young at heart, I'm Father James DeLucio. I'm going to continue now with the story of Fairyfoot by Francis Stevens, I believe, but I forgot already. No, Francis Brown. Okay, with a few of my own embellishments. Well, the last time we saw Fairyfoot, again, this young man who in our world would look perfectly fine, healthy, well proportioned, but he was the son of a king and queen who had many other children, and they and the king and queen and everyone else in the land have huge, huge feet. Again, if you stood on your bed this very night and imagine your feet growing, the two of them, the pair of your feet, filling the entire bed, top of your bed, then you know what these people look like. Yeah, I call them the stomping ground place and the stomping ground feet. Well, they ostracize this son. They have nothing to do with him, as you recall from the first episode, and they banish him to be the care or ward of the shepherds, the head shepherd and his wife, who can't stand him either. They ostracize him. Their children make fun of him. They put him out to the farthest pasture possible near the forbidden forest. This forbidden forest encircled the entire land of the stomping ground, and he's forlorn. He's an outcast. So it just so happens that one day while he's there, oh, by the way, he only gets to tend the sickly sheep, not the healthy ones. So he's got a lot of hard work to do, tending those sheep. All the same, he sees flying in the air a robin being chased by a hawk, and he has pity for the robin, and it just so happens that the robin alights right at his feet, his tender, beautiful, human-like feet. And he sees the hawk coming down to swoop and take the robin, but he throws his hat on top of the robin, and the hawk, dismayed, flies away. When he lifts the hat off the robin, no longer is it a little robin redbreast, but a little fairy about the height of your hand. And he's perfectly proportioned, and he has feet just like Fairyfoot. Well, he's so delighted to see a being that's proportioned as he, although much, much smaller. And he tells his woes to the fairy, and the fairy said, "Don't you mind. I'm indebted to you for saving my life. I'll take you deep into the forest." "Oh, can't go there." "Yes, you can with me," said the little fairy, "because you will see all my kinsmen and all our friends living deep in the forest in this beautiful fairyland, and you will take a cup of our special drink and you'll dance the night away and make all new friends." So this is exactly what he does, and that's exactly what happens. And he finds that when he takes this magic potion, he can dance all night, and yet in the morning, and not sleep, but in the morning, he has all the energy as if he had slept soundly for 8 hours or more. So this goes on for quite a long time, and he's having a wonderful time. His life is suddenly his own again, and he can forbear all the ridicule and the meanness of the shepherd's children and all, and he's far away from most of them anyway during the day. And he's taking better care of the sick sheep as well. So one day he decides not to drink of the special drink that the fairies give him, just to see if he could dance and then still have energy the next day. Well, of course, that doesn't happen. And so after dancing the night away, he goes into a drowsiness. But just as he's falling asleep, he hears some of the fairies talking about a beautiful princess in another faraway land who drank from a well that gave her extraordinarily large feet. And her family, a king and queen, are bereft because they're finding no way to remedy this child's predicament. If only they knew, says these two fairies, that our waterfall here is exactly the antidote they need, because it will make her feet back to normal, just like ours. They said, but we're not going to tell them, because she wasn't supposed to be here anyway. She wasn't invited, and besides that, who is this Fairyfoot, and why is he here? And just because Mr. So-and-so thinks he is worthy of being with us, we don't like it. No human beings, Bigfoot or small feet, or we don't care. We don't want them here. Well, he would have liked to get right up there and ask them some questions, but he was so drowsy, he just fell asleep. And that is the end of part 2. And I will continue next week with the conclusion of Fairyfoot. And what do you think he's going to do? Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and happy Valentine's Day. God bless. Good night.